Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones. And being an educator at heart, I'm dedicated to sharing conversations that inform and enlighten in the hopes that you learn something you may not have known. So welcome everybody. Make sure you share and like this video so everybody can see what's going on Conversations with Verdel Jones. We're here live at Paradise Studio on the Strong Island Television Network. Thank you for watching. Again, make sure you like and share. Season 5, we're in season 5 of Conversations, and it's all about embracing your life. And we're starting our winter episodes, which is all about gratefulness and gratitude. So we'll be on every second and fourth Thursday at 6:30. So make sure you tune in for great guests and great conversations. We can now be seen on Roku on the Strong Island Entertainment channel. So you can check that out. If you have Roku, go to Strong Island Entertainment and check out all of the awesome shows they have on that channel. And check out our show as well. Past episodes will be on there too. So we're looking for partner sponsors, and you can contact me today to support quality content. You can sponsor our winter season. You can sponsor one of our segments. Just give me a call and let me know what you want to do to keep this going. We also, if you want to be part of the conversation, you can have your very own conversation with Verdel Jones mugs, and you can check that out on my website. So pick that up today. So let's get straight to the week in review. We've been having a busy week. We had an awesome Thanksgiving, and I hope you watched our special Thanksgiving show. If you didn't watch it, you could check it out on the Strong Island Entertainment Facebook page. They have it there. The Strong Island Television YouTube channel, Conversations with Verdel Jones YouTube channel, so you can see it in a few different places. It was really a great episode for the Thanksgiving holiday. We also filmed a Christmas episode of Let's Kick It with the Joneses, and you can see that on the Rude Rangers TV Roku channel as well. That was a lot of fun, so we had a good time with that. We also, Maya and I, this was really cool. We also we attended the Long Island African American Chamber of Commerce Holiday Gala and Award Ceremony, and we actually hosted the red carpet, so that was really cool. And on the 26th of December, I'm going to have the footage from the red carpet, so you'll be able to check that out. Remember, we had Valerie Anderson Campbell. She's the director of the Nassau County part of the Long Island African American Chamber of Commerce, and Elizabeth Wellington. She's the deputy director for Nassau County. There was some really, some great powerhouses in that, at that event, and we had the opportunity to, to speak to some great people. So check that out later this month. This Monday, we are hosting another red carpet. So, that's kind of fun. We learned some things about the red carpet, but we had a great time doing it. So on Monday, we're going to host a red carpet for the launch of Cora's Naturals. This is a product line. We've used the product line, great oils for your hair. So that's going to be December 16th at 6 o'clock, Dunn's River, in Rockville Center. It's a private event, so you have to get a ticket, so you can, get your ticket on the flyer that we just showed. And let's see, what else? Oh, I also went to an event on, when did we go, Maya? That was on Tuesday. We went to an event on Tuesday that the Urban League of Long Island, the NAACP, Erase Racism, and EOC of Suffolk, they hosted. It was a town hall to address the report that they did on Long Island Divided, it was called, and it was about the housing discrimination throughout the area. So you can check out my Facebook page, Conversations with Verdel Jones, to see the entire live stream, town hall. Really good information. Again, they had some panels there. They had the individuals that put together the Newsday article, and then there was a documentary as well, and they show clips of that. But you can go to newsday.com /divided if you would like to check that out. That was really, it was really very, very interesting, and like I said, a lot of information. So on today's show, we're going to be talking about gratitude, and it's really the season of reflection, of being grateful for all of our blessings. And as an educator, I'm grateful to have had continue to have a positive impact on students and also my school district as a whole in general. So today we have an educator who's focused on teachers being able to provide quality education for all of our students. I'm also grateful for family and friends and the love that we have for one another. So we're also going to be talking to a couple who loves love and are grateful for the life they have built together. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to welcome an educator who is determined to help school districts support and retain qualified, skilled teachers. We'll be back in a moment. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Larry Davis. My purpose as an educator is to champion an education system where every educator, every teacher, and school leader will make our children a priority, where every child will experience an education system where their care, their learning, and their unique individual talents are on display. To champion every teacher and every educator and every school leader to do more to increase our students' achievement, to do more to grow and support our teachers. Why? Because education needs a champion. This is why I exist.
Okay, welcome back. So we have, as I said, we have Larry Davis, who's going to be joining us in a minute. He's coming to us live Skype, and he's an educator, and he's an author, and he has worked with schools and school districts in more than 10 different cities and states, and he's dedicated to making sure our students have access to a quality education. So I want to welcome Larry Davis to Conversations with Verdel Jones. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. You know, as I explained, you are, you're an educator, and I just want everybody to kind of get a sense of how you began your career in education and why you're so passionate about educating our children.
Well, it was in 1995. That seems so long ago, and I was about to be a father for the first time. And everything's running through my mind, but mostly, where do I want my child to go to school? Private school, public schools. Charter schools were not on the horizon at the time. And so I took a substitute job at a public school, at an elementary school. And when I arrived there, I found out it was a Spanish-speaking only first grade class. The substitute had left really good notes and said that there was a young lady who spoke English and Spanish, and she was going to help me out. And I told the secretary at the campus that if they could, I'll stay there until they could find someone. Well, they never found anyone, and about midday, a parent came in and helped read to the students. But I spent that entire day not giving anything to those children. And I started to think on my way home, what if that was my child sitting in that classroom for 7.5 hours, and the adult in front of them brought them no value? And it just bothered so much that changed my mind, and I went to become an educator. At the time, I was in the corporate world, and I actually made in bonus what teachers made in salary that year. But after having that feeling and being about to be a dad, it just laid on me and weighed on my heart so heavily that I became an educator. Now, every student who walks through my door, I put my child's face on them. Not the color of my child's skin, but my child's face.
Yeah, and it's interesting how that kind of sparked you to want to, become an educator, because you saw there was a gap.
Yes, definitely.
So you started. You've been an educator, and what age did you teach?
I've been 9 through 12 my entire career. I've been a classroom teacher. I've been an assistant principal. I've been a house principal. I've been a high school principal. I've been a district coordinator for school improvement, a district coordinator for college career readiness, and currently I'm a regional superintendent.
Okay.
So I've done it all.
Right. So why did you decide to start your own LLC? What made you kind of jump into this?
Well, every year, educators are required to go to professional development, and you can pretty much seek out whatever professional development you want. However, if we're going to improve our schools, teachers should seek professional development to help meet their needs, to only help them meet the needs of the students.
Right.
So I started looking at the needs of the education system, and I started to develop programs and platforms to help meet those needs, to help improve our schools, to help improve our teachers, and to meet the needs of our students. Our students come with so many different individual talents, and we can't overlook those because we're trying to put everybody into one mold.
Oh, my goodness.
We have to understand that our children, they come to us with different backgrounds, different knowledges, different education levels, and it's our job to take them from there to where they need to be. And so I started creating platforms to do just that.
I love that you say that also, because I was at a board meeting the other night. I had to do a presentation, and it was around college and careers and all of that. And one of the board members had stated that she was pleased to see that we are looking at the whole child. We know that not every child might be able to go to college, let's say, when we have a high college attendance rate. But at the same time, we also have to look at the individual students and not kind of pigeonhole them. And I think as educators, we need to do an even better job of that,
Can I share something with you? About 8 years ago, I was interviewing for a principal job in one of the more affluent districts here in Texas. And I wrote this program, and I presented it during my presentation, called the MV24, which is Military Vocational 2-year college, 4-year college. And as I'm presenting it, the assistant superintendent stands up and said, "Sir, I have no idea who you're presenting to, but all our students go to college."
Right.
Well, let me tell you this. Today in the state of Texas, military, vocational, and 2-year schools are part of our accountability system.
Okay.
So I was actually 8 years ahead of the trend, and I wish I could see that young person now. I would just say, well, where are we sending our children? Because all our children are not going to college.
Right. And we need to prepare them for that. We need to, really tap into something that that they're really talented in, and lead them in that direction, as opposed to, saying you need to go to college, you have to go to college, and then maybe not being successful because that's not really what they wanted to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we say that to them, what we're saying is what you want isn't important.
Right.
And we need to let them know that we value them and what they want to do, and find a way to nurture it.
Exactly. So one of the things that I know you're focused on is retaining quality, skilled teachers. But before we get into that, I want to know why are teachers leaving the profession? Why is this? It's really a call to action to keep these teachers that you're working with. Why are teachers leaving the profession?
28% of teachers, or 28% of all employers leave their job because of pay. But 72% are leaving for different reasons. And teachers leave for a variety of reasons. Some, they don't feel valued. They don't feel like they're getting supported. Some say it's a discipline issue. Some say that they don't feel like they're part of the system. The reality is, teachers leave leaders. They don't leave school districts. They don't leave schools. They leave leaders. And as leaders, we have to find a way to create a system where our teachers are recognized, valued, and rewarded. Right. And they will stay. We learned a long time ago that no significant learning takes place without significant relationships. Right. So why aren't we having those relationships with our teachers? Right.
Absolutely. They're the front line, so to speak. They're really the ones who work with our kids, and they need to be supported. And I've heard that in so many instances where they don't feel that support. So you also have a concept called outcome constructed dialogue, and that's something you do through your LLC. What is that about?
Outcome constructed dialogue is a conversation that we have with teachers before the conversations turn crucial, before we start documenting and writing them up, before we put them on growth plans. We talk to them and we collaborate with them to find out what it is that we can do for them to help them grow and get better. It's based on the concept of small gains. If you have an employee who's not very good and you don't do anything for that employee, By the end of the year, that employee is like 0.03 of value. But if you work with that employee every day and they have just a 0.01% gain, by the end of the year, they're 38% better than they were when they started. Now, over 2 years, that employee is now 70% better than we started with. So the process and gain of little gains, working with employees to find out what is it we can do every week to grow them just a little bit, 0.5. And then by the end of the year, we've grown that teacher significantly. And guess what? They feel valued and they feel like they work for somebody who cares for them. Right.
And is that some of the corporate, because you said you started out in corporate, is that some of, you know, the mindset in a corporate environment that's kind of brought into the field of education?
You know, in the corporate world, they're kind of the here and now. What are you doing for us now? And teaching has kind of gotten that way. Education has kind of gotten that way. This is something I just thought about when I looked at the number of good teachers who leave, the number of mediocre teachers who leave, and the number of poor teachers who leave. We're losing great teachers. We're not just losing the ones that we want to see go. Right. And when you talk to them, when I spoke in Illinois, California, Colorado, Kansas, Louisiana, and when you speak to these educators about why they're thinking about leaving, they all say the same thing. I don't feel valued. I don't feel like I'm a part of anything. It's never pay. Again, pay is only 28% of the reason why teachers leave. 72%, we could retain them if we could just show value to them, show them that we care about them, and invest in their growth and their support.
And what does that look like in a district? What does that look like for a teacher to be valued and supported in practice?
Being recognized. You know, here's something I do every week when I was a campus principal. Twice a week, I would get my administrative staff, and we would take sheets of paper, and we would handwrite notes to 3 teachers. You know, with 5 of us, and that's 15 notes. We'd write to 15 teachers, handwritten, things that we saw them doing that made them go the extra mile, that made them the champion of education. And then we decorated with stickers. And as you hand those things out, as you go back through the hallway, those things are hanging up on their bulletin boards. They're by their desk. I mean, and it doesn't take long for you to see the teachers who aren't getting any notes.
Right.
So now I know who I need to work with to help grow those teachers.
Exactly.
So it's based on being positive, just being positive. Everybody's not going to grow with you, but at least you can invest in them while they're there, because as long as they're there, they're impacting children. And if we're not investing in that teacher, we're losing stock in those children. Right.
And what is the importance of retaining these teachers? I know you mentioned there's a cost to the district, to the school, but what is another thing that is lost with not retaining these teachers?
When you look at $2.2 billion a year in teacher turnover, that's the financial cost.
Wow.
But the other costs are more significant. We'll continue to see low student achievement. We'll continue to see low performing schools. We'll have more and more failing schools. School safety will be at the top of every conversation nationally. And ultimately, we can't expect parents and community to trust our schools if we have no idea who's in front of our children.
Right.
So we lose community trust. We lose student success. We lose campus growth. And just when you look at that, we can't afford to lose our children because we can't retain teachers.
Right, right. So we are, we're running short on time. There's so many things that I want to ask, but one of the things that I definitely want to make sure to mention is you also wrote a book, and your book is called The Re-Education of the African American Child. So talk just a little bit, just about a minute, of what this book is about.
You know, that book is about what we all should be doing and not pointing fingers, from parents, community, to the school board, to the classroom, to the teachers, to the student. What are our responsibilities in helping our children be successful? If you ask anyone today, is there a problem with the achievement gap? And we know there is, and they'll say yes. Well, what can we do about it? They'll give you a bunch of ideas. Well, do you want to help with it? No one's going to want to help with it. The problem is very simple. We have to build relationships with our African-American parents. We have to get into our African-American communities and let them revalue that community where they value the elderly, the streets, the schools, the neighborhood. And we have to have children understand that they have to take stock in their own education.
Absolutely.
Most of the time when our parents come to school for their children, they come with an attitude or they come angry. They have to come understanding that I am an ambassador for my child. I'm coming to make sure my child gets the best education possible. And when we're not getting those things, we have to put people on the school board who's going to represent our precinct and our district the way it should be represented.
So how can people...
And that's what's that.
I'm sorry. So just a couple of things. How can people get your book? And what are some things that you do with districts to support them to, to retain qualified teachers?
Well, I just worked with a couple of districts this past year who had one district had 427 teachers who left. And at the end of the year of me working with them, that was reduced by 45%. That's 45% of teachers who will be back next year who had an opportunity to build relationship with students in that community one more year. So I work with districts in doing those things. I work with districts in helping them improve their accountability and improve their academics, and just work with parents. I like to go in and talk to parents because parents are vital to the success of our students.
Yes, definitely.
And if we try to leave parents out the equation, we're not going to be successful.
That's right. You can't leave them out. You cannot leave the parents out. So how can people get in contact with you? I'm going to put up your contact information, but how can people get in contact with you?
You can reach out to me at larryddavis.com. You can email me at larry@larryddavis.com. And you can call me directly at 817-793-7074. And I'll welcome your call and love to talk with you.
That's great. And how can people pick up your book?
Please visit my site at larryddavis.com, and you can order it there. You can order it at Barnes & Noble. You can order it at Amazon. But feel free to call, look at my site, Larry D. Davis, and order it there. Okay. And I'll get it to you.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for the information you shared. Like I said at the top, you are an educator that is really dedicated to making sure that our students have a quality, skilled teacher in front of them. And I just want to say thank you for the work that you do.
I appreciate it. And Verdel, just want to say education needs a champion. So for every teacher out there, be the champion that education has been waiting for.
All right. Well, thank you again. And we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to sit down with Team Allen. They're the host of the podcast, Love. You Gotta Love Love. So we'll be back in a moment. Thanks so much, Mr. Davis.
Thank you.
So youth, the opportunity to see what it looks like and to be a part of it.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, I have my next guest here, Elliot and Michelle Allen, also known or AKA Team Allen, and they're a loving couple that have been married for almost 15 years.
Yes, ma'am.
They are entrepreneurs. They're parents of tween boys.
Yes.
And they host a podcast called You Gotta Love Love.
Yes, ma'am.
And I love the name of that because you gotta love love.
You gotta love it. Who doesn't love love?
So thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. It's our pleasure.
So tell us about your podcast.
Oh, the podcast. Well, I wanted to really shine a light on marriage, romance, love, family. I feel like we turn on the news and it's just chaos. When you watch the news, it's chaos out there, and it's never, the first 10 minutes is always like, what is going on in the world?
Absolutely.
And I came to my husband and said, babe, we got to do something.
Absolutely.
Infuse some positive,
seriously,
right? Yeah,
we need some positive vibes in this world,
Yes.
and we need more love in this world.
Yeah,
and
so true.
that's where the concept of the You Gotta Love Love podcast came from.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So now, did you have to pull Elliot into this, or was he like? How did that go down? Because I know how these things go down.
Yeah, I did. I had to kind of wrangle him a little, like, listen to me.
I was tricked.
But he fell in love with it once he
Right, once
started,
he started,
right?
yeah.
Yes, he
That
did,
was tricked.
because he
That was
started
tricked.
his own after that.
Right. Oh, so you guys started yours first.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize
Michelle
that.
had actually been on me to do a podcast.
Okay.
And I was, rebuffing that.
Right.
So I think she tricked me, and she said, well, come on to the podcast with me.
Right.
And
She tricked you. She
tricked
did.
me.
She
Yeah,
tricked
tricked me.
you.
And the bug hit me.
Right. Yeah.
One thing I would add in terms of the You Gotta Love Love podcast, the thing that's spectacular about it is that we really get into the mindset of the couples that we interview. Because I want people to really understand the power of unions. The unions and the foundation. You're going to hear me talk a lot about that today. It's very important for people to understand that. My wife just talked about the negativity that we see on the news.
Yeah.
And we're getting inundated with these negative stories.
Absolutely.
So we don't just allow couples to just come on there, but we really get into how did you meet? What's the foundation? And we also go through the trials and tribulations, because that's
Part of it.
Oh boy, it's
That's
such a
part
big
of it.
part of that whole
Absolutely.
focus. So that's a big part of the show.
Yeah. So now, everyone, you remember Elliot was here
Yes, I was.
talk about mental conditioning.
Yes, ma'am.
So is that infused
Yes.
also
Yes.
into your podcast?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's under the
absolutely.
umbrella.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
That's the part where we really dig into people's mindset.
Yes.
Very important.
So how do you develop what you're going to talk about in the podcast, who you're going to have on the podcast? Like, who's in charge of the production of the podcast?
The ladies just run things.
Yes. I have no problem admitting that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But right now we're reaching out to people that we know. People from our past, people we've crossed paths with. We're open to anyone coming on and talking to us about their marriage and how they got together and their mindset. Every story has been different.
Right.
We never know what anyone's really going to bring
Exactly.
up.
But at the same time, we've all been through something as well.
There's
so
a story there.
There's a story there.
There's always a story there.
And that's the most important part to pull out of the podcast. We want people to hear that, because I'm going to give you a piece of that. With the advent of social media, a lot of times we only see the
highlights.
But at the same time,
It's
you
so
didn't
true.
know right before we did that. I said, get out of my face. And these things happen. So
It's true.
Yeah.
we actually asked the guests on it, and I've been so pleasantly surprised with the transparency of our guests.
Right.
So thankful.
We develop it from the beginning, and
Yeah.
we go right through it, and we don't jump over anything.
Right,
Because
okay.
It's really important for everyone to hear that, because even with yourself and your husband, which we're going to get them on the
Yeah,
show
They
soon,
are coming.
Yes, we are.
we want to hear, because when you see the two of you, when you just feel it, but we want to understand the real foundation of that,
Right,
and that allows,
interesting.
especially the youngsters,
Yeah.
to see that and say,
love it.
"Wow, that's really a powerful thing, and I want that." But it's not easy to do it.
It's not
No.
easy to do.
So we're
it.
trying to show you how to do that.
Right.
Right.
Well, on that note, we want to have young people see
Yes.
this.
Yes.
How do we get young people to kind of even be interested in in a podcast like that? I mean, people do want to be in relationships, you know, for the most part, but how do you stress with them the importance of it? Like, how do you get that across to young people?
So for me, I just think that it's a feel. When they see, that's why it's important for me and Michelle to get out. Because when people see us, I don't care how old you are. Sometimes people don't remember me. They won't remember Michelle, but they remember Team Allen. That's why I take so much pride in that. And people say, I was like, how'd
you do that?
How'd you do that? How did you do that?
How'd you do that? Right.
So that's why. And then we give you an opportunity to actually listen to our story through the podcast, through Couples Night of Love. We give you opportunities to do that.
Right.
And it's not an easy thing. It's not a 1, 2, 3 thing where I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with you and it's over. It takes a tremendous amount of mindset changing. It's really what it's all about.
Right.
You asked me about that infusion. The mindset is really where you have to attack it first.
It really is. So what do you think, so you've been married for 15 years, almost 15 years, right?
15,
Next
2020.
year's 15. Congratulations.
Oh, well,
that's
thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
So what do you think is the secret to a long-lasting marriage?
You go first. Let me hear this.
You know what? I can't. For us, I know for us, we're very big with communication. Like, we love to talk to each other. We like each other. I love him. I'm in love with him. But I like him.
Right. Yes.
So,
That is
and
key.
I like his conversation. So, and for me, conversation is very stimulating. So that gets me going.
Right.
Mentally stimulating.
You like being around him.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
He is. He's a funny dude. He doesn't look it, but he's a funny dude.
Thank you.
He's great.
Yeah, you have to like one another.
You do.
I mean, before anything else, really, it's that like. I mean, of course, there's an initial, you know, attraction and all that, but you have to like each other.
Very, very, very.
If you don't like each other, you can forget it.
You're in big trouble.
You're in big trouble.
And another piece I would add is you have to like each other and you have to love the life with each other. That's the piece that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to marriage. You have to love your spouse, but you also have to love your life with your spouse.
What do you mean?
The marriage, the married life is a certain type of life that you have to have a certain type of mindset. You must accept that. And you must accept this is my partner.
Right.
And I have to be able to go to battle with this woman. Hence Team Allen.
Right.
And that's why I take so much pride in that. When I hear people say that, it gets me excited.
Right.
When you start to add on, we have children. They're part of Team Allen.
They're part of Team Allen, right?
You have to love that life. There's a lot of people that, I love my wife, but you know, I don't really like this life.
Right,
When
yeah,
I come
I
home, I don't
understand.
really feel like going in the house. You don't love the life.
Right.
You have to love the life
Yeah.
of being with your spouse. Very, very critical,
Right.
but that's just the mindset.
Right.
We're going to work on that.
Yeah, no, that's true. So, all right, what about romance? See, Jeremiah, he stepped in the room.
Yeah.
You see that,
I saw him.
right? He saw it, right?
I saw him cutting his eye over here.
So what's the deal with romance? And you know what? I love to ask this question. What is your idea of romance? Because your idea of romance and Michelle's
Everyone's
idea of
different.
romance might
Yeah.
be different.
Everyone's
So
different on that.
go.
Yeah.
Ladies first.
Romance for me, my love language is quality time. So
Okay.
I just like,
Okay.
we don't have to do anything. We can just be home in the bed and just chit-chatting.
Right.
Or watching the TV or on the couch just catching up for the day, what's
Okay.
going on. That's my love language. That's romance for me. A lot of people, I think, traditionally is like, oh, the candles and
Right,
the
yeah,
roses.
yeah, right, right,
And
right.
it may be for some.
And it might be
that's
for some,
fine.
right.
For me... I just love conversation. Good conversation, though. Not just any conversation.
Right.
Good conversation.
Right.
What's romance for you?
Well, I
hear
guess
that.
that's why we get along so well, because I
Yeah.
would have to second that. I enjoy spending quality time with my wife.
Right.
I especially enjoy getting on a plane to do that.
Hey, come
And going
on.
to a different state. But a lot of people think it's funny because a lot of people will say a lot of times that we're boring. One of my favorite
You know, it is
vacation
what it is.
spots is Las Vegas. And people are like, oh, did you go to this club? No. You know, we just hang out in the room.
Yeah,
and
right,
That,
yeah.
that for me and my wife is
Right.
romance. And that's because,
Exactly.
again, we do talk so much. And it doesn't get boring.
Okay.
So that's really, really a romantic thing for us. We do kiss and things like that too. I don't want people thinking that we don't do that.
All y'all do is talk.
Yeah, right. We make out. We do make out as well.
make out.
But the stimulation is also, talking. That's a big part of it, and that does sometimes lead to kissing and making out.
Lord have mercy, I can't. Verdel.
But people have to kind of really, and I think it goes back to what you said about the communication.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So they have to communicate a love language,
Yes,
for example.
to learn what it is for
to learn-
yourself
'cause
and for
it's-
your spouse.
Right, because it
Yeah.
can be different.
Yes.
Right,
100%.
exactly. So you're both entrepreneurs. You both work a 9 to 5.
Sure.
But
do.
how do you make time for each other with all the things that you do?
We're still working on it.
Yes.
We're not perfect in any way.
Right.
It's hard. We have to consciously say, okay, wait, stop. We need to go out to eat tonight. Let's go
Right.
do this. Or when the weather's really nice, we love to go for walks.
Right.
So we get the exercise in as well as just talking the whole time and catching up on what's
Right.
going on. It's not easy.
It's a challenge.
It's not easy.
Timeline is definitely a challenge, but
Yeah.
I believe that challenges are the things that make relationships great. Because when you come through those challenges,
Yeah.
that's when you can really sit back and look at your wife and say, you know what, we did it.
Right.
We did it.
Right.
This was something that I don't know how we did it,
Yeah.
but you know what? We did it. And
we
that's
did
a tremendously powerful thing. And again, if you understand it, you allow that to come into your mindset
Yeah.
about the team that we have constructed here. I watch the Jones team, and I'm very impressed with that. And I smile every time I see it because that's team. And it's something that when people watch that, you ask me about kids,
Yeah.
when you watch that, I don't care if you're 30 or 13.
Right.
There's no question when you watch that, there's a feel that
Yeah.
you get. I want to be like that.
Right, yeah.
I got to find
powerful.
somebody that can do that.
Right.
That I can accomplish that with.
Yeah.
It's
That's the
powerful.
work.
And you know what? It's the work that we need to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we do a show with the kids, my husband, myself, and the kids, and we take for granted what we actually have, because it's special, but
Yeah.
it's what we do.
I agree.
It's
And
just-
you don't realize the impact that
Yes.
you have on
Absolutely.
others.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You really,
It's
really,
very powerful.
it's powerful. It
And you
really,
don't
really
even have
is.
to say anything.
Right, yeah.
It's
You're just
really,
watching.
of course you're talking, but it's the feel that people understand, like, they can move mountains.
Yeah.
They can move mountains.
Right.
And that's the part that we want people to understand.
Got it.
Yeah.
We want youngsters to understand, because that's what's missing in today's society. When you get your previous guest, he talked about, very interesting, about why people are leaving the educational field. What did
Yep.
he say? Because you don't feel
They don't
wanted.
feel, devalued, right?
I feel wanted.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
come on now.
All
Yes.
right.
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful thing. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you have an upcoming event,
Yes.
Couples Night of Love. So I want to just show that real quick. Tell us about this.
Okay, so I'm going to get
We
into
love
this real
Couples
quick.
Night of Love.
Couples Night of Love is a celebration of the foundation of unions. It's a celebration of the foundation of unions. We just talked about that foundation piece of it. Everybody in life wants to belong to something.
Right.
We spend a lot of our mental diet on wanting to belong to something. Again, the brother that was just on, he talked about that. People leave the profession because I don't feel wanted.
Right.
That's when we go out there, we look for our jobs. We work for somebody that we want to feel wanted. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to be associated with feeling wanted.
Right.
The most powerful thing is that intimacy that we have.
Yeah.
When we think about this, when you date somebody, you go out with them, you like them, it's a powerful transition to say, I like you so much that I want to spend the rest of my life with you.
Right. Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. Right.
I just said, I like you so much.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I want
I'm
you
done.
for-
I'm gonna
This
lock
is
it down.
I'm
Lock
gonna
it
lock
down.
Right.
Isn't that a powerful thing?
It is.
But guess what? That's foundation.
Right.
When you get married, there's a lot of pieces that go on top of that foundation. You got children. You say, let's get a house. We got cars. We have careers. We have to intertwine all these things.
Right.
And watch how powerful this is. The higher you get, you added all these things. Here's what Couples Night of Love, I'm going to show you why Couples Night of Love is powerful. You're way up here. As we start to get older, we get lazy. And we don't want to walk down the stairs to go back downstairs to celebrate this foundation no more. But Couples Night of
Okay.
Love, I got a couple tickets for you because I got an elevator.
Right.
And you ain't going to have to walk down the stairs. You come
Right.
there and I'm going
Yeah.
to take you down to celebrate your foundation. That's what Couples
Right.
Night of Love is. I'll give you one quick story. We had a couple that came there. We've done this a couple times. And they told me, they said, you know what, when we sat, what we do, we have special tools that we use.
Okay.
to bring this out. And this couple, now when I do the show, and when we do Couples Not Love, I'm watching everybody because I want to know if it's working. And this couple came, I didn't know them. They came in, I'm watching them. They talking a little bit, not talking too much. Then I noticed they started talking a little bit more, but I don't know them, so I don't know what the dynamics was. Afterwards, they shared with me. They said, you know what? I forget how long they've been married, but we never really sat down and talked like this in a long time.
Yeah.
We had a great conversation, and it didn't stop. When we got in the car, she said to me,
going.
I didn't know he talked so much.
Wow.
That's a powerful thing.
I'm serious.
Isn't that so powerful? But you know what? I bet you that they did talk in the beginning, but because of all of those things that you add on, you forgot to celebrate the foundation.
Oh, yeah.
So Couples Not in Love, we celebrating the
We bring
foundation.
you right back.
With some treats.
Yeah, it's a fun night. It's
And it's fun.
Evening.
It's fun.
Fun evening.
It's a fun evening.
So how can people watch your, how can people tune into your podcast and get information about the couples night? We're going to put some information about, you know, your contact information, but how can they reach you?
Well, everything is on the website, so we'll say that. Anything regarding events, podcasts, you can go directly to the website, www.mentalconditioningmovement.com, and you'll find the events tab there. You'll find the podcast tab there. You can listen to podcasts right there if you want to. Podcasts are also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and then also through the website as well.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have a little conversation about the holiday season.
Holidays!
Looking for a way to promote yourself or business? Do you need a quick and easy way for your clients or audience to see what you're about? Myanmar Productions is the solution to your promotional needs. A video on a landing page can help increase conversions by 80% or more. And marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. With our personal attention to detail, we will create a video that will help you promote yourself or business professionally and attract the attention of potential customers. 64% of consumers make a purchase after watching branded social videos, and an initial email with the video receives an increased click-through rate by 96%. We create videos for business owners, authors, speakers, and more. From storyboarding and voiceovers to editing, Myanmar Productions will work with you to create a promotional video that will increase your visibility and generate revenue. Family is our foundation, and with Myanmar Productions, our family is there for you. For a free consultation, contact us at myanmarproductions@gmail.com or call us at 516-289-4947.
Hello, my name is Maya Jones, and I am the editor-in-chief and founder of Shades of Long Island. Shades of Long Island is a website and a media outlet that highlights stories related to minorities, millennials, and Generation Z on Long Island. Check out the site because you're going to get great content, diverse content, local content, Long Island content.
Welcome back. So our Let's Talk segment is brought to you by Shades of Long Island, highlighting minorities, millennials, and Generation Z on Long Island. So Michelle and Elliot decided to stay. I actually asked them to. And I'm so happy that they did. Because we're going to talk about Christmas, okay?
Our favorite holiday.
So season 5, winter, we're talking about gratitude and being grateful. And the holiday is really a perfect time to discuss these matters. But we also know that the holidays sometimes can be a little stressful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the holiday season, about, you know, blessings, I think, though, with the holidays, sometimes it gets a little twisted.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, as far as the lengths we go for gift giving, planning, and, you know, how has it changed for you, the holidays? You have kids. So how has the holidays changed over the years?
Wow.
He's the holiday king. Okay, this guy here, his stories are growing up. Mine was a typical growing up, holiday, Christmas, Santa, all that stuff. But when you hear his holidays, I'm like, I was missing something, and I was next door, and I didn't know. Has it changed? I think we've infused a lot of what his Christmases were into our Christmases.
Okay.
So you picked the right guy for this.
Okay.
You sure did.
All right.
So, as Michelle stated, growing up in my household, Christmas was enormous.
Right.
And I guess that's where the family values come from. Because I understand what you're saying in terms of we have to be very careful in terms of the gifts. It's not about the gifts.
It's not about the gifts, right.
It's not. But at the same time, it's about, I'm going to use that word again, the feeling. I still get that feeling today.
Yeah.
Because I want my children to feel what my parents had me feeling on Christmas. There's nothing like that feeling of it coming together. And that's what I want.
Right.
So I go through great lengths, my wife will tell you, to do that for my kids and to make that, have them have that feeling, because I'm in my 40s. Matter of fact, I'm not ashamed. I'm 45 years old.
Tell them, baby.
And let me tell you, I love it. I love it. I love it, because again, that's the feeling that I'm trying to duplicate, because it stays with me today.
Right.
All of these years later, I still feel that feeling. So it's really a powerful thing for me.
Right. Right. So now that I know you are Mr. Christmas,
That's me. That's me.
So do you get each other Christmas gifts?
Yes.
We do. It is hard because he's on me now. What do you want? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
It's important
good.
to me.
Because we honor each other often throughout the year.
So
it's just like, I'm
Very
fine.
difficult,
I'm
right?
happy. I'm good. I don't need anything. I got his gift already though, so he's good.
Now, do you put? So Jeremiah and I had this discussion. We were trying to figure out, all right, how much are we spending on each other for Christmas? Because we want, I don't want to cheap out. He doesn't want to cheap out. I don't want to go overboard. He doesn't want to go overboard. So do you kind of talk about that?
I don't.
No,
Okay.
we don't.
Because for me, this is just a time, again, because I'm looking for that feeling. I want not only my kids, I want my wife to feel that way.
Right.
So I ask her, what do you want? I've gotten burned with that a few times, where I've asked her what she wanted, and I didn't know how much it cost. And I'm like, yeah,
Oops.
I got it. And then when I went to the store, I was like, oh, man. However, it still was important to me that I made sure that I got it.
Right.
Because that part, it's not about the money, but it's just about, you asked me for that.
Right. You asked me for that. Right.
I'm going to get it.
Well, and he's a sentimental gift giver as well.
Yes.
So I'll open something and go, you listened or you heard. And it's just like, how long ago did I mention X, Y, and Z?
Exactly.
So that's him.
Yeah.
He's
My
good to
husband's
get
the
me
same
for
way.
that. Good to get me for that.
It depends.
Yeah.
I'm not as good with that, but Jeremiah will get me something that like you said, I forgot that I even mentioned, and it is nice that he's paying attention.
Yes, he is.
We try. I mean, Jeremiah. My man.
So I do, go overboard sometimes with the giving, but and you know what, the interesting thing is my father is like big on Christmas, and he loves gifts. He'll tell you exactly what he wants.
Yes.
He wants to make sure that he gets the perfect gift for people. Like he's really, really into it.
Yes.
So that kind of, I took on some of that.
Of course.
But it's still stressful. Do you find the holidays stressful?
It can be.
For me, I don't. And one of the pieces I would cover, because I just did this on my podcast.
Okay.
I'm fortunate that my parents are still with me. I understand when that time comes, it's going to be very difficult.
Right.
So I do understand that's a stressful part about the holidays. I do have a few aunts that we lost. And so now you're like, ooh, I miss that macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Right.
Even the people that would come to your house and show out, you're still, I miss them.
Yeah, I miss it. Yeah, that's right. I know
how it is.
exactly what you're saying. I know. I
miss
feel
that.
you. I feel you on that.
You miss it, no matter what, negative or positive.
That's right.
You do miss that. And even to come back to the family part of it that we discussed in the previous segment, that's hard for people who don't quite have that and they want it.
Right.
You're like, oh, I wish I had my family, but it'll come.
Yeah,
It'll come.
it'll come.
It'll come.
You know what? I'm just gonna go back just a teeny, because you're talking about the family and you're talking about like people wanting that, right? What would you? It's hard to find someone that you're equally yoked with.
Yes.
How do individuals go about finding that love? That like what do they need to look for? Like we talked to, you know, I talked to Maya and I'm like, okay, you need this, this, and this, and this is what you should look for. But how would you kind of recommend or suggest or?
For me, I'll let my wife go second on this one. But for me, the most important piece to this that people have to really understand is your self-evaluation.
Yeah.
You must understand who you are because it does not make the decision-making process easier, but it makes the decision-making process clearer. So when Maya's got that guy in front of her that's like, you know, he's attractive and all, but he is not in line with me.
Right.
Is it easy for me to say, I'm not calling you back? It's clear what she have to do.
Right.
This is what makes it clear for us in the process of finding our mates.
Right.
But most of us, and this is why I do mental conditioning. The hardest part about mental conditioning is your self-evaluation.
Right.
To be able to be
last
honest
time.
with who you are.
Right.
That's hard for us.
Yeah.
Because now when emotions come involved, I'm physically attracted to this person.
Yeah.
I'll let that slide. Be careful.
Right.
Because what you let slide 10 years from down the line,
You can't deal with it anymore. Right. Exactly.
It's coming back.
That's true.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
For me, and that's more of like the tactical. For me and how I found him, he was next door the whole time. But I
Like literally?
literally,
Yes.
we grew up next door
It's my next
to
door
each
neighbor.
other. It's our neighbor.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
This is my neighbor.
Oh, wow.
My next door neighbor.
But to be fair and bad, I didn't like him.
Okay.
I
right.
didn't. It didn't.
It is what it is.
But he's the
you
best
know?
thing ever now. So for us, I found
He was like annoying.
Yeah,
and,
right.
or what was the
that
deal?
mean
What was
face.
the deal?
It's that mean face. And like I told you.
Oh, it's a mean
he's
face.
That mean face, but he's a funny dude.
Yes.
So you never would have known. Yeah, the mean face. I didn't know what I was missing. I did, and I found out much later on.
That's
And
so
I'm thankful
funny.
that
That is
that's
so
what
funny.
it is. But I think for us, I always tell people it's divine time. When I wasn't looking,
Okay.
is when he came and he changed and he looked different to me. I'm like, oh,
Right. Yeah.
hold on now.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Right.
Something
right,
shifted, and
right.
I account that to the divine. So
Yeah.
I always say it's divine timing. It's never in your timing. It will never be in your timing.
Yeah.
It's in his timing.
Right. It just seems so, like, it seems like such a challenge.
It is.
I don't know how they're doing it today.
Right.
I don't know. I don't wish it. I pray for y'all. It's not an easy thing.
It is a challenge, but again, if we understand who we are, and then you force people,
Yeah.
you force the opposites to fall in line because this is who I am, and I'm not going to stand for this.
Right.
Then people will get themselves together. But when people
Yeah.
can feel things, and when you sit across with somebody, you can read them and say, they're going to compromise with whatever I want to do. You're in trouble. But when you're sitting across from somebody, you know this person is very firm with who they are. From a woman's standpoint, a woman can have an aura about her like, you better not go there with me. I've seen it at my place of work where people will say certain things to a woman, and you're like, wow. But then there's certain women that's very low key.
Right.
But you know you better not say that to her. You know you better not go there with her. Because this person doesn't raise their voice.
Right, but you know.
That's
But
a no.
you know. But
It'll
you
come
know.
out.
Yes.
Right.
But that's a person that's in tune with who
Right.
they are, and you can show that by not even raising
By
your
not
voice.
even-
It's a powerful thing.
So we have just a few minutes. So who hosts the holiday?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Yeah, we stay home. Yeah, we stay home.
You stay home
Yeah,
and
and
okay.
just do it together as a family. Family comes over sometimes not. Sometimes family flies up, sometimes not.
Nice.
So
We don't go anywhere for Christmas.
he
Good.
refuses
It's
to
never
go
gonna
away.
happen.
I want to
Never.
go away. He refuses
Never gonna
to go
We
away.
went away twice and loved it.
See, thank you.
We're going to take a
Thank
quick
you,
break, and when we come
Verdel.
back, we'll have our final thoughts. So we are at the close of our show. We've had some awesome guests. I want to thank Elliot and Michelle Allen, Team Allen, for being here. We also had Larry Davis here. I want to show the contact information for Larry Davis. You can reach out to him. Education needs a champion, and he's that champion. So you can contact him at his website, larryddavis.com, or you can contact him at 817-793-7074. And here is the contact information for Elliot and Michelle. We are, again, thankful to have them. And check out their podcasts. You Gotta Love podcast. So check that out. And definitely go to the website, mentalconditioningmovement.com. So I want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a happy, I'll be here before New Year, but Happy New Year. And I want to thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us. Good time.
Good time. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And thanks for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones.